Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is also a birthday of our hospital. 66th anniversary of Taipei Veteran General Hospital. This session of the symposium has invited 3 distinguished international scholars to address the issue of radiation protection. The first speaker, Dr. Hirohashi, is a professor and the director of radiation disaster medicine in Hiroshima University.
Professor Hirohashi is a leading expert in radiation disaster medicine and emergency medicine, and has made remarkable contribution to Japan's national preparedness and education system in the field. I first had the honor to serve as Professor Hirohashi's section chair at an international conference in Taiwan in 2 years ago, where he spoke on preparedness for radiation disaster in Japan. Later, in last October, I had another great opportunity to visit his facilities in Hiroshima, together with a group of colleagues from Taiwan, and we were deeply impressed by Japan's training in radiation emergency medicine. Both experiences were truly inspiring and rewarding. Today, Professor Hirohashi will speak on what if a radiation accident or disaster happened tomorrow, learning from Hiroshima and Fukushima. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Professor Nobuyuki Hirohashi.
Welcome to him. Welcome.
Oh, thank you very much. It is my great pleasure to talk to in my topics in this conference. So why I'm here? This is the reason. The chairman and the staff is coming our university last year, so that's the reason why. So I'm very happy to talk in this in Taiwan. This is my first Taiwan. So, and Japan is a very small island. So 2 days ago, I went there. So, but I'm happy to meet my friends, and my skin, my very familiar in this country. So do you know that this 80 anniversary, not anniversary, but 80 years ago, it's atomic bombing in the Hiroshima city. But now is, maybe please imagine atomic bombing and falling down in the city. It's if you go to the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum, so you can easy to understand what happened in the Hiroshima city 8 years ago. So everything gone at the time, but now we rebuilt in this city is established again. So 6 rivers across in this city in Hiroshima city, and our university is almost the center of in this city, and also the Radiation Effect Research Foundation is near our university. The 2 years later, maybe the 2 years later, as this institute moved to our university. So if you come to Hiroshima, you can see that World Heritage, Hiroshima Peace Memorial, and its extreme shrine, Miyajima Island, and we have the castles. And so China Syndrome, do you know this movie? It's 1970s. This is a meltdown in the United States power plant. So have you ever experienced a disaster in your life? No? This in Taiwan is many earthquake. Yeah, and also. So this is my first disaster. Is my grandfather and my uncle is obstetrician, and my father is a surgeon and anesthesiologist. Yes, I'm a breech presentation. So, but my grandfather hesitated to cut his daughter, my mother's. So it takes long time to the operation. So finally, it's a very hypoxic damage to my brain. But just 90 seconds. So 90 seconds hypoxia stimulated maybe the cells because my body is 30 times higher than. So hypoxia, short time, is good for my cells. So I working in the Hiroshima University since 18 years. And sometimes I go into the disaster area, and sometimes I'm flying. But my body weight is very big, so it is too difficult to drive in the helicopter. But 14 years ago, is the Fukushima disaster changed my life, my emergency medicine or acute medicine life to another field. So and 8 years ago, I have the new department of radiation system medicine, and Dr. Kyo is also belong my my laboratory, and we have the laboratory, and we have a training, teaching, and collaborating internationally. There's no time to explain our research, but if you're interested in, please come to our site. So disaster is difficult management. So it's rare. We can't predict, and it's occurred suddenly. But it needs special knowledge and resources in medical management. So we need learn the history because we have no chance to have the experience in disaster. So we have learned histories. So Great Hanshin earthquake, 1995. This is a turning point in disaster medicine in Japan. At the time, many people are dying and injured, but there's no system, no medical system, no assistance team, and no information system, very few transport systems. So if we have some knowledge and resources, maybe we could save the preventable disaster deaths over 600 casualties. So many people dying, so government is waking up. Before disaster, government is sleeping, but many people dying, so government started acting in Japan. So new system in DMAT, maybe the Taiwan is also already established. It takes 10 years. So DMAT is a train, and we have the mobile and self-contained medical team and act in acute phase and disaster. But now we have all phases, not only acute phase, but also subacute and chronic phase. And also the COVID-19, and this is all Japan. All prefectures has their own DMAT team. But this team is not trained radiation emergency medicine. And also another system is the information systems. So we can log in the personal computer. We can know where the disaster occurred, and also DMAT check the collapse of the hospitals. The data is collecting is the DMAT headquarters, and the DMAT headquarters arrange the DMAT team activities. So radiation disaster are more rare. So we are around the history. So unfortunately, there's no photograph at the just moment of the atomic bomb falling, but next day is everything gone. So you can easily understand if you read this manga, it's cartoons. Kenji Nakazawa is atomic bomb survivors. This is a Weekly Jump magazine in 1970s. So this is very easy to understand. What's happened is atomic bombing, so melting for the heat wave and the blowout, and many people is walking around, the skin is melting, and the beautiful face is injured by the grasses, and catastrophe in Hiroshima City, 1945, 6 August, and deadly body is floating in the 6 rivers. And also you can understand to watch this kind of movies, very famous, the Hiroshima and the Children of the Atomic Bomb, 1952 and 53. In these 50 years, it's a very famous disaster and accident. Most one is Chernobyl, and in Japan, and Tokaimura and Fukushima. So far is the nuclear or radiation accident and disaster. So many different so the atomic bombing, a nuclear power plant accident, and transportation problems, and in many cases in hospitals and the laboratory or industries, and also terrorism, RED or dirty bomb. So 3 years ago, Ukraine and Russia and we used dirty bomb, but nothing happens. We are very happy. So this, most of you are nuclear medicine doctors, so you already know the radiation exposure types. So external radiation, internal radiation, and contaminations. So in this each radiation induced each phenomenons, and we have to take care of in this each methodology and the treatment. But in the bombing, it's including the trauma and the burn and the poisoning. So combined injury is more difficult to treat. They affect each other. So radiation injury and trauma injury affect each other with immunosuppression or delayed wound healing, and finally sepsis and multiple organ failure and death. Very interesting story from the 1945 clinical diary from the Hiroshima Red Cross hospitals. The Army captain, 70 years old, here irradiated atomic bombing 1 kilometer from ground zero. He had injured dermal burn. Burn index 5 is not so severe. Usually, burn index 5 is everybody is alive, not die. But this man is passed away 8 days later. Maybe this is a burn injury and radiation, this combined injury 8 years ago. So Tokaimura, do you know the Tokaimura? You already know. This critically occurred. So many high dose neutron and gamma ray attacked the 3 workers, 24 gray, 8 gray, and 3 gray. And 2 workers died in several months. So his chromosome is damaged. We could not count which chromosome 1 or 2 or 3 is. The many dicentric and ring formations. And also they treated the skin graft, but no way. But finally, this skin is adjusted his body because his immuno function is 0. So he accepted all kind of skins, but finally died by sepsis and hemorrhage, bleedings. Another worker's, his face is melting. So this is acute radiation syndrome. So at that time in Japan, there's no radiation emergency medical system before 1999. So 2 workers dies and government is waking up again. So new law is enacted and the focus on the major release of radioactivity from the nuclear power plant or massive dose of radiation. So after 1995 and before Fukushima, before Fukushima, this is a pyramid. So from the primary and secondary and tertiary systems. This primary hospital, primary hospital is very near power plant, and the secondary is the biggest hospital in the prefecture, and tertiary is west side of the Hiroshima University is a tertiary, and west side is the NIRS. So we are training after these systems. So maybe this is time, something's wrong. So, yeah. Okay. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Very quick move. I don't touch about move. Maybe some are recorded. I'm sorry. So 14 years ago, big earthquake in the east of Japan, East Japan earthquake. So many people dying. So I'm a DEMA team is going to the east side. Is the night is the same day, and because but government prefecture offices called me. Please come to the port, self-defense port. So very big ship, okay, very good chance to go to the east side of Japan. 4 DMAT from Hiroshima University getting on this big ship. So I asked the staff, oh, tomorrow morning we can arrive at East Japan. No, this is very slow ship, 30 or 40 kilo speed. Oh my God, I have to pass, I have to wasted 2 days on the Pacific Ocean. And we are asleep in the twinkle bank bed, but it's very good information. The cafeteria is open all day, so good for me. I can eat anytime, anything. So, but the next day, Saturday afternoon, is a hydrogen explosion, meltdown is occurred in the Fukushima power plant. But just we watch the TV on the Pacific Oceans. And in the time is the government ordered evacuation from 20-kilometer radius. All the people, please run away from the 20 kilometer. And at the time, same time, is nuclear particle is spread in the east of Japan. So Sunday morning, we arrived at not Fukushima, just Yokosuka near Tokyo. And on the highway is a very background cracked by the earthquake and the wavings. And finally arrived at Fukushima city. In the Fukushima city, many cars, many people were waiting, and houses is collapsed, and helicopters is from another prefectures. Oh, maybe many injured patients there. So many people is waiting the gasoline. So we finally arrived at Fukushima Medical University at the DMAT headquarters, and chairman said, please go to the Nihonma city, near the Fukushima city. Okay, I'll go. So, Ehime, this is not found, so I'm sorry. Maybe my problems. They said, please change the clothes, but I have the jacket. No, please change this clothes. Oh, this is radiation disaster medicine. This is not DMAT. This is natural disasters. I'm very confused because my body is too big to wear the Tyvek suits. And at that time, in my brain is very confused. I totally forgot how to use GM cybermeter or what's the becquerel gray. But we are tertiary emergency, radiation emergency medical hospital, so I have to do something. So we are just screening the people because the mission of the DMAT is only screening of the evacuees because DMAT is not trained. Headquarters said, DMAT don't touch the radiation-associated patient. And so do not enter this big hall. It's okay, but we are checking the inside. Many people is laid down in the cold and hard floor. So this is not hospital. This is a normal big hall, just like here. So this overturned chairs as intravenous stands. And we watch this patient. This patient is almost dying. It's gasping. Oh, what should I do? So I asked the DMAT headquarters. But they said, don't touch the patient because the DMAT is not, there's no mission. This is not our mission. But we are Hiroshima University. We have to treat the patient and the 8th patient. And around midnight, we transfer this patient to another hospital. But first of all, this hospital is accepted this patient. But we are explain again. Finally, they accepted. So this Fukushima disaster, the problems, is combined disaster. It's earthquake, tsunami, and the power plant. So primary hospital is no functions because the lifeline is damaged. So Tokai is just 3 workers and industry, but this is the big combined disasters. So maybe this crops radiation disaster medicine, maybe the crops of the disaster medicine. And another problem is the vulnerable, elderly, weak peoples. So they couldn't evacuate, run away from the inside. But who support in these evacuations? But DMAT is no. We have no. DMAT is not. No, don't touch the patients. Red Cross Society is 1 millisievert, over 1 millisievert. We cannot go inside of a 20-kilometer radius. So these people who are supported this. So some hospital, some group either go to the hospital is okay, but some group is go to the high school gymnastic and Fukushima Gender Equality Center and high school. High school is not hospital. It's very cold. This is very impressive pictures. It's a tracheotomy patient. Or some patient is down. So over 60 patients died in the evacuation at the shelters. So if some medical staff support in this evacuation, maybe we can save in their life. So they die in the dehydration and hypothermia, or original disease got worse. So there is no death-related radiation and explosion in the reactors in these times, just only its evacuations. There's no medical support in this preventable trauma, preventable disaster, radiation disaster deaths. So, but in government is already, before Fukushima accident, they have the plan, but just only plan for the ordinary people. They can work, they can drive, but no specific plan for the hospital inpatient or elderly people. So you are already known, radiation itself does not create any immediate threat of life, but in ill-prepared evacuation, very dangerous. So we need more detailed evacuation plan for these vulnerable people. If your hospital is near the nuclear power plant, so you have to recognize distribution of the hospital or nursing facilities, a number of patients, which car we can use, or who accompany this patient. So which route, how long does it take from the evacuations, and which hospital accepted in this patient. So 14 years, this 14 years, Hiroshima University is supporting the Fukushima prefectures. So Fukushima nuclear power plant now is still over many people working 24 hours. So now it's emergency room is very entrance of the nuclear power plant, and now it's 24 hours, 80 doctors is registered. So we learn from the lesson to different kind of the accident and disaster. So 1999, Tokaimura, we are starting establishing the emergency medical system for several casualties. And after Fukushima, we have started establishing nuclear disaster medical system for combined injury. So we have many lessons from Fukushima accident. This is the top 4 issues. So as a Nuclear Regulation Authority is issued a new principle for nuclear emergency preparedness response. The purpose is to minimize its radiation impact on residents living near nuclear power plants. The purpose is to resident. So this principle, including the standards, decision making, and the zones or systems, education systems. So EAL depends on plant conditions, ORL depends on air dose rate or another dose. And zone is the PAZ is 5 kilometer within, and the UPZ is 5 to 30 kilometer for deterministic effect and reduced and stochastic effect. So if something happened in the nuclear power plant, we have the use in the EAL and ORL for the evacuees. Most important things is just alert. This earthquake occurred, we have started to prepare for the evacuation of the resident in need of assistance. This is a lesson learned in Fukushima. So the new system is a central role, is the most important hospital, it's a nuclear emergency hospital. They have the team, and they have to accept all patients without contamination. And 2 centers support these hospitals. And after Fukushima, we have changed the new systems. So secondary radiation, the biggest hospital in the prefecture, so became the nuclear emergency hospital. And primary hospital is cooperated with this hospital. And 2 centers support in hospitals. In Japan, in the 6th institute designated in just kind of advanced radiation emergency center and nuclear emergency medical support center. So in Hiroshima University, I covered 12 prefectures, and we have to train in this hospital. But this system is just only prefectures surrounding nuclear power plant. So the other the other prefectures, there's no training, no educations, only around the nuclear power plant, medical staffs. But other prefectures also has nuclear facilities, also company or university, so they are using the radiological particle or the machines. So we need a system that can respond to the radiation accident in the 47 prefectures. Okay, so what about the inside of the prefecture, inside of the nuclear power plant? We are talking about around the peoples in these systems. So this is very weird in Japan systems, particle sectioning. The inside is workers, so belong to the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare. Outside is the people covered by the Nuclear Regulatory Agency. It's a natural disaster covered by Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare. They have the DMAT, they have the EMIS, and this hospital has the nuclear emergency medical assistant team. So something happened in the inside of the on-site. This team is not, this is supporting these people, but they never will go to the inside. And also, DMAT is never go to the inside, but maybe DMAT is support in this for the people surrounding the nuclear power plant. So what about the inside? The only one group is support is Nuclear Safety Research Association, but this is just only 3 doctors. So these doctors cannot cover all power plant in Japan. So now we established the new system, on-site medical system development committee. I'm a chairman, but this is still ongoing. So we need more 120 physicians work. But these doctors just only working in the subacute or chronic phase. They never working in the acute phase. So this is more problem still remained. And educations, more 50 minutes. So radiation disaster medicine need a multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary team approach. So first of all, so we have to cover acute radiation syndrome, but also combined injury and mass casualties. And also we need special knowledge and resources in medical management. So education is most important, the priority. So now 3 years ago, we are starting the new systems from the basic to the highly professional training system. So now we are going to the hospitals and teaching and evaluations every year, and go to the prefectural center hospitals. And also our own team is also joined to the annual National Nuclear Disaster Preparedness drills. And also we are training in the inside of the nuclear power plants. And also we are teaching and educate not only medical staff, but also non-medical, so citizens, high school student, or a non-medical university student. And also we are joining and collaborate with the internationally and the WHO, REMPAM, and the IAEA RANET, and the REACT in the United States. And the Hiroshima Prefecture has the high care, Hiroshima International Council for Healthcare for Radiation Exposed. We have the international 4 days course, 1 and 3 years. And also education for the another countries, they don't have any power plant, but still continued. So the other topics, many people dying, many people missing after big earthquake, but many people left the Fukushima Prefecture. That's why, because there's no home. The many people suicide rate is very high than Fukushima. Iwate, Miyagi is not so many, but Fukushima is very many number of people is dying. So one of the reasons is the stigma and the discriminations. Even medical staff is discriminated to the peoples. We cannot treat the radiation-associated diseases. Please certification and non-contamination sheet, please give. So this is a very shock to the patient. And also ordinary people have the stigma discrimination. They call the Fukushima boy and Jam boy. So at the gas station, it rejected the Fukushima number plate cars. So we need basic education is more essential. So how about the 8 years ago? It's easy to distinguish because he is irradiated, because his hair is lost. So too much more stigma and discriminations in the 80 years. So already there, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, we have to much more listen and learn from in these 80 years. How about COVID-19 in the first year? Many stigma and discriminations. The people call the nurse, and the son of the nurse is your germ, your mass of germs and spread. The nurse is spread about another people's. So no knowledge. So no knowledge, maybe the way we discriminate in the patient. So now I introduced my institute, Hiroshima University. 4 years ago, we have a new building for the radiation disaster and analysis and research, and another building 3 years ago. So these two big buildings for me, just only for me. No, this is joking, but I'm training. It's many kind of the training course. So very good environment. So maybe young people is coming to our field, I hope. But very few people coming here because radiation disasters are very rare and no place to demonstrate his skill and not recognized in the subspecialty and no medical specialty programs. So young people is not interested in this field. And the regional problems, we are meeting in once a year, these prefectures. So power plant is on the urban countryside. So countryside is the number of the doctors very low. So they are very so busy. So we have to do the emergency medicine and emergency medicine. There's no time to the radiation medicine, and this all are volunteers. So no incentives. So very tired. So there's no time to do the radiation disaster medicine. So first of all, we have to start to secure the incentives for these peoples and also incorporate another groups, just like a DMAT. DMAT is all 47 prefectures. If we teach the DMAT team to the radiation disaster medicine, that's easy. So everybody knows about that. But I don't know, this is the virtual sectionalism is still the programs. So now in Japan is the west side is some power plant is reactivated. So about Hiroshima, around Hiroshima is we have two prefectures have the power plant. So we asked the DMAT, can you work in the radiation disaster site or not? So Ehime and Shimane prefecture people is okay, I can work in over 1 millisievert, but Okayama, Kochi there's no power plant. It's very, even under 1 millisievert, the very low people is work there. It's a radiological technician is accept, it's much more than. So maybe the familiar with the radiation is their people is accept in these dose. So I asked our colleagues, Dr. Kochi, asked the radiologist. This radiologist, including the nuclear medicine and the radiological oncologist, all over. So maybe they cannot work in the site because there are no chance to be a DMAT, and also no experience in natural disasters. That's the reason why. Yeah, I understand, because these are the rare DMAT team can accept. So I'm reach again. I'm talk again. So radiation disaster medicine is based on the emergency and intensive care and disaster medicine. And 1.5 years ago, and we have a big earthquake again, is Noto. It's Hiroshima University DMAT go to the site. This is only one road to the site. And here is the nuclear power plant. So, but this road is collapsed by earthquake. So this this plan is not, maybe we cannot use this plan because no road, they cannot evacuate, we cannot rescue, we cannot transport in this patient, and we cannot support, and they cannot confident. So the government is over 100 cities did the same situations, but no, very low budget because nothing happens, no died. The disaster is not occurred in this earthquake, so government is still sleeping. So who will support in these evacuations? So 14 years passed is Fukushima disaster. So most of you is forgot the Fukushima disaster. Even most of our American staff is forgotten this. Maybe, but we forgot after that, so something happened. 3 years ago, Russia attacked the nuclear power plant in Ukraine. Very shocked, big impact for us. We can go to the Ukraine. We are happy, no, not happy, but nothing happens. So many power plants in the whole world, and earthquake zone, maybe your country and Japan is a nuclear power plant on the earthquake zone. And maybe something happens in another country, attack the Japan, but Japan is still very safe country, we believe. So Japan is not expected to face a terrorism attack, and after Fukushima, but maybe never again Fukushima. And most of us we don't live in the prefecture, it's near the power plant. So maybe somebody is helping the next disasters. We are also sleeping now. So yes, last year it's a Nobel Prize in atomic bomb survivors, but still 9 countries has nuclear arsenals, many weapons. So nuclear detonation impact is this combined injury. Not only injured patient, but also catastrophic infrastructure loss. So maybe no ICUs, no equipment. We cannot do the equipment. So many ICU patients, over 1,000, 20 or 30,000 ICU bed at the times. It's impossible. So please imagine it's a nuclear disaster. The same size of the atomic bombing is falling down again today in Hiroshima, over 1 million people. We calculated. So many combined injury, irradiation, and large-scale fire and blast. Maybe the half of them is dying, and maybe many people is injured, and finally leukemia and cancer. So we are now establishing the radiation disaster medical system, but this system is not enough adequate in these attacks, nuclear attacks. So finally, I showed that the Hiroshima bombing. This is radiation disaster medicine. So this is the most important pictures. So 4 hours later, atomic bombing is 22 kilo from 2.2 kilometer ground zero. This is radiation disaster. Who is the external radiation, internal radiation, contamination, the poisoning, or trauma, or burn, or something, the internal diseases got worse. So you please imagine. So who will care this kind of patient? Who triage? Which hospital will accept it? This is the next 9th August temporary relief center. This is result of the radiation disaster. So we are continue to the human resource development should be promoted across the professions, regions, and even countries in Japan and Taiwan. And it is important to continue it with persistently based on our own real life experiment in Fukushima and Hiroshima and Nagasaki lesson learned. So we have just only one in the world, just to focus on the radiation disaster doctor course, PhD course. If you are interested in, or you are student or colleagues, please come to our PhD course. We have the 3 courses: medicine course, environmental course, and recovery, social recovery course. So please teach your children and save your children. Thank you very much.
那我们请座长与演讲者留步合影，并颁发感谢状。那在这时候，我们也是要热烈的感谢广乔教授，因为他真的很难得来我们台湾的演讲，他是第一次来台湾。那我们很高兴有这样子专门做这个核子事故第一线的专家学者来台湾，我们谢谢他。